You gave up a TV job to start a podcast in your basement. If that doesn't scream midlife crisis, I don't know what does.
It was Championship Sunday here in Indianapolis.
What's the mindset then coming in as a defending champion?
I want to win. No, I want to win.
The young lady over my shoulder, Caitlin Clark.
Not the best looking guy. And I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say, Matt Randazzo was really good looking.
What has this last month, 2 months, 3 months been like for you?
It's an important fan base for the Fighting Illini, is it not?
It is.
He turned 69 years young last week. You look good, Coach.
Oh, try it. Thank you.
Welcome to Off Day with Matt Randazzo here on a Tuesday in the Quad Cities, Tuesday, January 25th. Thank you guys so much for joining us wherever you're joining us, however you are on whatever format or platform. We do greatly appreciate it. We are surviving the cold times of the winter, of course. Everyone shut everything down on Friday of last week. Back up and going this week on Monday, but still really cold out there. So stay warm, stay safe, all of those kind of things. And of course, there's no better way to do that than to stay inside, snuggle down, and check out Off the Air each and every day right here at 10 a.m. Every weekday. If you're watching us on YouTube, we thank you for that. YouTube has been great. If you've subscribed, thank you. If you have not subscribed, please do so ASAP, and tell a friend or 2 or 10 about what we're doing each and every weekday right here in the Quad Cities. And of course, be interactive. We have our YouTube chat going right now. I try to check it out as much as I possibly can, but when it comes to guests and questions and complaints and all of those kind of things, hop on, be interactive with us. We love that. When I grew up, it was all about sports radio. I loved listening to sports radio and the calls and all those kind of things. That's my way of doing that, is for you guys to jump on the YouTube stream and the chat and join us there as well. We're also live on X. X continues to be very, very, very good to us. So if you're watching us on X, which I know thousands of you do, we appreciate you for doing that. Thank you for doing that. And same thing, be interactive. Feedback from X is awesome as well. We're also available on all the podcasting platforms as well. So wherever you get your podcasts, go there, put in Off the Air with Matt Randazzo, and you'll be able to listen to the show each and every day. Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Podbean, wherever you go, put the name in there and you'll be able to listen and not have to look at my ugly, unshaven face today. This is one of those days that if I was still in TV, probably wouldn't have gotten away with, but God bless me for getting to go upstairs and talk with you guys each and every day. Also, we want to welcome our viewers in Central Iowa as well. We're on each and every night on WHO's streaming app at 7 o'clock every evening. So thank you for checking us out there if you're doing that. Thank you for the feedback we've gotten from those people in the Des Moines area and the Central Iowa area as well. We thank you for your support and for your feedback each and every day. Also, we want to remind you, yesterday's show was a lot of fun. The Iowa women's basketball team, there's a lot to talk about there. We'll do some more of that here in just a moment. We had Kyle Huseman and John Bonenkamp on yesterday talking about the big victory against Ohio State, the injury to Taylor McCabe, which we'll update you on in just a second. Addie Deal's emergence as a really good basketball player here as a freshman. Hannah Stolke is consistent and consistently really good right now. A lot from yesterday's show. Go check that out. Also on yesterday's show, Jim Matson from the Peoria area, talking about the Fighting Illini, and then of course Makokata, head basketball coach for the number 1 ranked Makokata girls basketball team, Jed Speck, join us as well. So check out yesterday's show if you missed it. As for today's show, coming up in a matter of moments, we'll be joined by our good friend Pat Angerer. We like to chat with Pat on Mondays. Mondays have been a little funky for me right now. Thankfully, the work on my internet in our area, I think, is officially over. So I knock on wood and everything else. Hopefully it stays that way throughout the day. So I haven't had to plan around that, which has been a challenge. So Pat Angerer joins us. Tonight, the Big Ten football schedules get released. And so before we move ahead to 2026, I'm going to have Pat look back at 2025, the best 5 moments or games from the 2025 season. It should be a bunch of fun. We'll also talk to him about the Super Bowl and about a bunch of other nonsense. Pat Angerer coming up just a few moments. Also, later in hour number 1, Bettendorf standout Alyvia McCorkle. She's going to play her college basketball at Houston next year. The Bulldogs in second place in the MAC, a tie for second with 2 other teams. Everyone chasing Central DeWitt. We're going to be joined by Alyvia McCorkle coming up later in hour number 1 of the show. And then in hour number 2, another thing we normally do on Mondays, we're going to do today. John Marx will be here. The Rock Island football team has a new head coach. We'll hear from Anthony Rome tomorrow on the show. He should be officially approved tonight. We'll talk to Johnny about some Western Big Six football, some local high school stuff, the Super Bowl, a bunch of stuff. John Marx will join us coming up in hour number 2 of the show as well. Later this week, really excited. Logan Jones either tomorrow or Thursday on the show. We mentioned Anthony Rome, Tom Caker, and I hope someone else. I'm going to try to track down Tyler Tashman. We're going to go through the schedule tomorrow and do a way too early prediction of the Iowa football schedule. That's coming up. Nicholas Bear this week, a bunch of other stuff. So the Royal Rumble is this weekend. We'll preview that on Friday. So a very busy week on the show. Thank you guys for joining us today. Make sure you check us out for the rest of the week as well. Before we get to Pat Angerer, I want to do a few news and notes as we get ready and get everybody caught up with what's going on. And we start with some unfortunate news for the Iowa women's basketball team. We kind kind of maybe expected this on Sunday and most of yesterday. It came out yesterday afternoon, later afternoon. Taylor McCabe officially out for the season. She tore her ACL. She's 11th all time and made 3-pointers in Iowa women's basketball history. A Hawkeye through and through. You hate to see this, especially for a senior who's now played her last college basketball game at the University of Iowa. Of course, she went down in the early moments, the early seconds of the game Sunday against Ohio State. What's unfortunate is Taylor's a fantastic shooter. She had been slumping a little bit, and she was starting to break out of it. In fact, the game before Ohio State, the Maryland game, she made 4 threes. Even the game before that, she made 3. So she was starting to get that shooting touch back. And a tough blow for the University of Iowa, maybe just as much off the court and leadership-wise as on the court. When it comes to actual X's and O's, a lot more pressure goes on to that freshman class. And Addie Deal, who's been playing really good basketball. Journey Houston comes off the bench and contributes, and Lila Hayes. And more will be expected from everybody. But if you're an Iowa fan, they've dealt with injuries this season, be it Chit Chat Wright or Kylie Feuerbach or anybody, as they've kind of weathered the storms there. So they're used to maybe having to play different roles and step up a little bit. So we'll see if Iowa can adjust, but they did a great job against Ohio State. I think they'll be fine in the long run on the court, but you hate to see it for Taylor McCabe, and obviously she'll be missed with her 3-point shooting as well. So we wish her a speedy recovery and the best of luck as well. Some news and notes. Big Ten awards came out yesterday. Addie Deal was the freshman of the week of the Big Ten for the second straight week, and Ava Hayden was the Big Ten player of the week. When it comes to the women's side of things, the Illinois women play on Wednesday at 6 p.m. They welcome UCLA to the State Farm Center, and then Iowa is at USC Thursday evening at 8 o'clock. The guys' side of things for basketball, it's Iowa and USC. Big game for Iowa coming up tomorrow night at 6 p.m. We'll get Bear Cage to either preview or break down that game, whether it's Wednesday or Thursday coming up. But a big game for the Iowa men's basketball team. The Illinois men host Washington on Thursday at 8 o'clock, and then the Iowa State men will host Colorado, I believe, Thursday at 6. So a lot to get to basketball-wise later this week as well. But as we mentioned, the college football Big Ten schedules for football come out later tonight, and it was a great excuse, and we don't need an excuse to be joined by a familiar face right here on OTA. And it's not Monday, but I guess Tuesday's the next best thing, right? Pat Anger joining us on the air with Matt Randazzo. Are you staying warm these days, my friend?
Yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough on a bald guy, especially somebody that refuses to wear a stocking cap. I don't know why I don't. I thought about putting one on today, but you don't need coffee when you're out in this weather because it'll wake you up. So
Hold
yeah,
on,
I'm chilly.
Back up. You don't wear a stocking hat at all?
No, I need to. I need to invest. Maybe if there's some.
You've never worn a stocking cap.
I mean, I have. Yeah, absolutely, I have. Like if I'm shoveling or outside for a long period of time, but just not on the daily basis. But I need to.
Okay, why didn't you grab one today? Like, I might not do it because I don't want to get to the destination I'm going to and like whatever's left of my hair.
You don't want to mess your hair up.
Well, you don't have any.
Yeah.
You don't have any hair.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's just a pride, or it's probably mainly stupidity, which is why I do a lot of things.
Yeah, including joining us right here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. We got some fun stuff. Okay, so the Big Ten schedule comes out tonight, and so before we move on to next, I know. Temper your excitement.
What's taking them so long? What took them so long? Is it they're just waiting for Notre Dame to get in? Is that what the deal is?
I don't think that's ever going to happen, is it? I don't think.
They don't want that smoke, dude. You know they don't want that smoke.
Did you see they're trying to get rid of like the only good game they have on their schedule, Miami? They're trying to get rid of Miami next year on their schedule.
Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, you might as well just play terrible teams and then just be undefeated so you can get into the playoff. I mean, why would you play anybody good?
Okay, so my next question. I think Iowa gets tested in the Big Ten week in and week out. It's the best conference in football.
Yeah.
Why does Iowa
Yeah.
play Iowa State? What good
I don't
comes
know.
out of it?
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, like, they beat us. It's a big deal for everybody. And then when we win, everyone's like, well, you should have beat them. So, and the problem, too, I mean, not the problem. I mean, we're just going to beat them for the next 20 or so years. They're going to go through a bunch of different coaches, and yeah, it's just whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm not too concerned. It'll be an easy game for us.
I
I'm
like
confident
it.
with that.
Well, Tuesday, clip Pat talking crap about Iowa State and put it to social media.
No, I don't know.
All right.
Hey, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Iowa State. They beat us last 2 years. So, you know, they've won. We've got to you know, stick it to them, and hopefully we can.
Clip Pat heel turn loves Iowa State. Post it.
No, I don't.
Not,
Shut up.
I can edit this beautifully. It's great. So, anyways, what we're gonna do in a second is we're gonna
You are fake news.
Before we leave the season behind, I want to go through your. I told you top moments, and you've gone ahead and done whatever you wanted and done different things. But we're gonna get to that in a second. Before we do that, how was your weekend? What was your youth sports weekend like? I didn't get any technical fouls this weekend. I was pretty excited about that. Was it a good weekend in the Anger household?
Yeah, it was fine. Emmett played. He played over at PV, which it was a fine tournament. But man, that first game was at like 8:45 on Saturday. I think the last game was at like 4 or something like that. It was like, come on, man, we can't be spreading this thing out. Because you need me to stick around because I will put some money into that concession stands. But if I can go home, I'm not. You're not making any money. So it was a long day. Emmett played good.
How many games?
Three
and
games.
Your first one
games?
is at 8, and your last one was at
4? Avery too played at she played at 8:45 8U girls basketball at the middle school. So I went to that one. The hard part with that is Greg Dwyer from Dwyer Michaels, his wife and me have the same birthday. Birthday's coming up, you get me something I know. So we always go out to Duck City. And the problem when you go out with the Dwyers is that Greg is so good at telling stories, is that you just sit there and you're drinking, and then after a while you've had about 100. So I didn't wake up feeling too good on Saturday morning, and it was a pretty blurry 8:45 8-year-old girls basketball game, and that's really not what you want to do or be at when you're hungover. And we lost a heartbreaker. A 10-8 heartbreaker. So
it sounds like you showed up still drunk to a 8-year-old girls basketball game. Is this true? Is this what we're talking about?
I don't know. It was it was a tough day for me. Still kind of recovering a little bit.
Can you share with our viewers when your birthday is? Obviously, I know it's written down right in front of me, but just in case the people don't know, when's the birthday?
No, I'm not. I'm not telling anybody. It's coming up.
Trust me, it's going to be talked about. Hey, do you think Dwyer and Michaels will come on my show, or do they have like exclusive stuff that they can't like lower themselves to me?
Yeah, I mean, they are big radio stars, so I don't know if they, I don't know if they would like to compete with this podcast crap.
They
are good. I mean, gosh, how are those guys? They have been on the radio forever and have not said anything stupid. Like, how do they do
it? And like you mentioned too, like they are, and that's not being like condescending or anything. That's who I grew up listening to. Like Dwyer and Michaels. I remember not wanting to go to school in the mornings and like, oh, I got to go to school. But like, I got to get in the car and I listened to Dwyer and Michaels. And then sometimes my friend's mom would let us stay in the car a little later. We were there early and we sat there and listened. And we thought we were so cool because like we probably, I don't want to say weren't old enough to listen to Dwyer and Michaels, but it's probably stuff my mom and dad weren't like, hey, make sure you listen to Dwyer and Michaels. I was still a little young, and like my buddy's mom was cool, and she's like, yeah, you can listen. And they made you laugh, and they're still doing it to this day. If I get in my car and go someplace, if it's morning time, I listen to Dwyer and Michaels. They're as good. And you're right. They've only gotten better. They've never gotten in trouble or anything like that. Have they?
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm sure there's probably something, but they just I will sit in the car. Let's say like Dwyer's dumb game or something's coming on. Like I'll be late for work because I'm like I got to get through this. I got to see what they're going to say. No, they're great guys that do a lot for our community, and just those dudes are awesome. They did me and my wife's wedding. They DJ'd that. My wife talked them into it. They just did an amazing job.
Wait, that's
It was
because
awesome.
you were Pat Angerer. Like it's pretty easy.
No,
Like, hey, my husband's
I
in the
think it was
NFL.
more.
Will you do this? Will you do this wedding? Yes,
I think it was more. Mary's very nice
that's true.
and cute, and yeah,
Did-
she likes to. Yeah, she's hard to say no to for sure.
yes, she has. Oh, never mind.
She can say no very easily.
Yes.
I've learned that the hard.
Does she still
She
hate
doesn't have-
you? My wife can't stand me. Does she still not like you?
I'm assuming she doesn't. She hasn't really publicly said that yet. But I mean, if I were her, I wouldn't like me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, and one last one before we get to the actual like Iowa football stuff of this. Are you you're not 40, are you? 39?
I'll be 39.
Ooh, what are you gonna do for 40? If you make
I don't know.
40?
Hopefully I'll still be here. I don't know. We'll see.
Tom Caker turns I think 60 coming up.
65.
Is it 65? No, it's not. 60.
I'm just-
You're such Poor Tom. Come on.
we need to do something for Tommy's. This is a big deal.
Yeah, we will. We're gonna have a huge party.
We'll talk about it, and we won't. We'll talk about it, and we won't end up doing anything. But
it's the
the
thought
thoughts
that
there.
count. The thought that
Yep.
counts. Okay, so I gave you your homework, and you're really excited about it. I wanted moments. Tell me what the rules are. What are we doing here, so I know what's going on?
I'm just doing things that I liked about this season. Most of them are games.
Okay.
I just put together like 30 seconds ago. All right, so back off. You didn't give me a warning.
I did. I gave it to you last night at what, midnight? I didn't think you were going to text me back. And all of a sudden it's like, bloop, I can't read this. Yes, you can. You can. Trust me. Okay. So, top 5 games, moments, memories, thoughts of 2025 for Iowa football. Number 5.
The Wisconsin win. We had a heartbreaking loss to Indiana, national champion Indiana,
Yeah.
which is the craziest thing in the world. Then we had a bye week, so it's like, and the team really hadn't put anything together up until that point, like a really clean game. And then went up there and just from the beginning, just kicked the crap out of them. Was it 37-0?
Yeah.
Graves had that good pick 6 to start it out. Wisconsin came out talking all kinds of trash, got a penalty before the game even started for talking trash. And then we just beat them down, and it was absolutely beautiful.
That might have been one of my favorite Pat Anger moments of the year because I had done the pregame show at Big Grove, and I was going up to Waterloo to hang out with some buddies, and I was listening to your pregame part and the game on the radio, and it was the beginning of the game, and you were just that guy's an idiot. He just went over and like punched our guys or talked crap to our guys, and you let him have.
I think I called him a loser.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's just being selfish. That's being a selfish guy. And honestly, there's just no place for that. There's absolutely no place for that. Like you're gonna play them. Like you're gonna fight them. So go do it legally. And you know what, the guy had 0 tackles. Guy didn't do a damn thing the whole game. And it's just like it's just all talk, all show. And that's what I love about Iowa. Is like we're not going to say nothing. We're just going to kick your ass during the game. We're going to fight you. And that's the difference between the programs. Is there's a program that's all talk and they think they're this and they're that and they haven't done a damn thing recently. And and we're gonna compete and we're gonna be ready to go.
Do you remember his name?
No, because he didn't do anything.
I would love to know next year, like where he's at. Like I bet you he's not even at Wisconsin next year.
The thing is, here's the issue. Here's the issue is that he'll be there because that happened. And you know what he was on? He was on the opening kickoff. So if you have a good culture and if you're a good leader, that stuff doesn't happen. And if it does, the guy's not stepping on the field. So that really showed, I guess, the type of culture and the type of leadership they had that season. It was just not, I mean, that just doesn't work like that. It shouldn't work like that at a Division I level if you're serious about being a good football team.
That's well said, Patrick Anger. So number 5
Thanks.
was the Wisconsin game and the shutout beatdown 37-0 of the Badgers. Number 4, game, memory, moment, thoughts of 2025.
Minnesota win. The Minnesota win. We held their offense like 130 yards or something like that. I think Weegan had a return. Should have shut him out, but PJ, kicked a field goal they didn't need to. He just kind of gave up with that, where he didn't want the shutout. But that was another one. That was a butt kicking, and it was good for us. I think honestly, I think that was the game before Oregon, if I'm sure. And it was like, okay, hey, we're cooking with gas, ready to go. We're going to compete really well against a really good Oregon football team.
The memory, the moment from that one for me was Weegan, because it was Minnesota. It was a punt return. I think did he row the boat? I'm pretty sure he sat down and started rowing the boat.
He
He might
rowed the
not have
boat.
sat, but
Yep.
I can't remember. I thought that was the moment from that game, but you're exactly right. Like, and the cool thing is when you went back and you, like, I did the homework and I went through every game and like wrote down stuff and everything. And you thought to yourself, like, it was a fun season. Like, there's so many moments, and not just moments inside of games. There's some games that, like, you look and there's like several moments within that game. I think the Weegan punt return for Minnesota, really, really good as well. That was number 4. Number 3, games, moments, memories of 2025 for Pat Anger.
The Michigan State game. That was, and I was fired up going to that game because there was a guy from Michigan State that was talking crap about some Iowa kids prior to the game, and I almost had to put him in his place. So I was ready to go. And then we just came out. We didn't play very well. We didn't play very well at all. But we found a way to win, and Weegan took that game over. And very rarely in the history of football does a returner make that big of an impact in a game, and really just kind of single-handedly take it over. Obviously, there were other plays that were made, but it just showed the grittiness. And Weegan, I would think that was the game where he broke the record.
Yep.
And it was a grittiness of this team. It was, hey, we can not play our best, and we cannot be squared away and execute like we know we can, but we can still find a way to win, and they did.
That was the game I'll remember for at least half of the press box openly wanting and talking about when they're going to bench Mark Gronowski and it's time and what are we doing. And that was the one that always I chuckled. Yeah. And then he had a great fourth quarter as always. And I don't want to throw the rest of the media because people know who they are and all that kind of stuff. But it wasn't pretty. Like, I remember sitting there looking, going, I mean, I had my son texting me like, this team's awful, blah, blah, blah. I can't believe we're going to lose. But it was what Mark Gronowski is. It kind of encapsulates what he was during that season. Yeah, Weegan had the punt return in the first quarter to break the record. I think second quarter, first half at least. Can we back up a second? What do you mean that some Michigan State chap got you all fired up?
I don't know. We're sitting there and we're doing our usual pregame meeting at the bar the day before. I had just done the Iowa State the Iowa high school state championship, so I had just gotten back into town and met Gary and Corey, and this guy comes in and we're watching the 5A game, and he's like, "Is this your biggest class in Iowa?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "So this is your best teams?" And I'm like, "Yeah, probably." And he's like, "Wow." And I was like, "Dude, not the time right now." I'm like, if you want to come over here and talk trash, then we can do this. I don't care.
You weren't joking, were you?
No, I was ready to go. And Gary's like, Patrick, he's not worth it. He's not worth it. And he's like, I wasn't. I'm like, he goes, I wasn't talking. I'm like, yes, you were. I'm like, if you want to go, let's go, dude. Like, it's fine, whatever. So I was ready to go, and then I'm thinking, the whole game we're struggling there, and me and Gary are like, man, this post game is going to be a tough interview, and then also we had to interview coach at 6 a.m. the next morning for the Hawk Talk, so we were just like, man, that's going to suck, and then we ended up, it was a great comeback, it was a great win, and we ended up staying out way too late on Saturday night.
No, you did?
Yep. We did. We stayed out way too late.
I hope I get it.
Yeah, I ended up eating McDonald's at like 2 a.m. It was
I wish I
tough deal.
got invited to some of those things sometimes, but it is what it is.
Well, you just leave. You just leave.
Well, because I got to go do a podcast. Because if I don't,
I
then
told you.
Corey complains like right away. I hope there's a post pod. When's the post pod coming up? So I got to go set everything up, get Cakert ready. He's half liquored up at that point, anyways, and we got to entertain the 5 people that listen to the show. So come on, leave me alone.
Well, I told you, I always have a queen bed that if you need to sleep in, we
It's
can
true.
snuggle up.
You have offered that, which is intriguing. Pat Anger joins me right now and off there with Matt Randazzo. All right, number 3. That's great. Number 3. Number 2, game memory moment. Do whatever you want. It's your world, Pat Anger.
Thank you. Yeah, it was ending on the Vanderbilt win. Everybody, all you media guys talk about, well, Coach Ferentz hasn't beat a ranked team and blah 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 blah. And then we beat a team that everybody talked about should have been in the playoffs, and their quarterback got second in the Heisman, and we came out and we played really hard right away, and we punched them, they punched back, and we stuck to it and just played great football. I think the highlight of that game for me. Really the biggest play, in my opinion, was Mark Ganowski's fumble recovery. That was absolutely unbelievable. That was extremely gritty. It was just really good to see this group of guys go out on a high note and get a big win, because they've been so close all year, and just really appreciative of the guys' effort and the culture.
Yeah, that's a great point. The fumble recovery was amazing. What did I put down for that game when I did my moments? Oh, the flea flicker. What was that called? They named it. Wigan Pen.
I don't know.
Wigan Pen, wasn't it?
Was it Wigan Pen?
Yeah,
I
think it was
don't.
something like that.
Shoot. Is somebody like trying to break in your house? What's going on?
No, remember this? And I might as well. Remember this summer I told you that we got water in the basement.
Yeah.
Well, they're finishing the basement right now. Great guys, and they're like, hey, let us know if we can hammer or not hammer. I'm like, do whatever. I got a mute button. I can mute if it gets too bad.
Yeah.
So they're making the house nice again, which it needs some
Hey,
work.
when you got big money, you got some big money, dude. That ain't cheap. You're spending $20,000 right now. Good for you.
Thank God for insurance. Let's just say that. Thank God for insurance. All right.
Must be nice to be insured.
Yeah. All right. Number 1 moment, game memory from 2025 Iowa football season before we move ahead to the excitement that is the schedule release tonight that Pat will be having. Are you doing a watch party? Like, what's the plan?
No, absolutely not. No, I don't know. No.
Don't you kind of want to know when the bye week is?
Here's the thing. It doesn't matter. I can't control it. It doesn't. Whenever
But
I'm going to go to the games anyway.
You can plan
Plan what?
Don't you have stuff to do on the bye week? Like, we're going to go to the Lions game on the bye week. It's such a hard thing, because it's like, if the bye week matches up with the Lions actually being at home, then we're going to go to Detroit. There's probably like a 4% chance we go, but don't you want to plan that kind of stuff? Or Friday games. Don't you want to know hey, we have a Friday game in wherever that'll be different. I'll be back on Saturday and I can do certain things. Or do you just take one day at a time?
My bye weeks, I want to do nothing. I just want to sit there.
Yeah. But you don't get to do that, do you?
No, but I'd like to.
I will say this. There was one, I can't remember what week it was. You'll probably remember, but I think it was a Friday game or whatever, but you flew in and then barely slept, didn't sleep, and then went up and watched football, didn't you? Coached football.
Yeah, this was a hard first month and a half of the year, because I was coaching 2 football teams. So yeah, that would have been, gosh, I can't remember what game it was, but I coached the kids Monday through Thursday, both the teams, and then went to the game Friday, flew back. My luggage got lost, so I had to drive back home Saturday morning.
No way.
Or it didn't make getting the bus or whatever. And then so I drove back home, had breakfast, and then drove to Dubuque for the football game, so I didn't sleep. And then was able to get home, sleep for a couple hours. We had some event that night, and then the next day I had to coach my other kids' football team. So it was just there was a lot. There was a lot going on. I was tired.
You wonder why you got a bad back and you look like hell. Like, you wonder. Like, that's the kind of stuff you can't do. All right, back to the number 1 moment of 2025 is.
Well, it's Coach Ferentz breaking the record, and really, what I picture from that game is B-Ray's picture of Coach Ferentz joining the Swarm on the way off the field, because that epitomizes what the players feel about coach, and it epitomizes what coach feels about the players. Like, it totally encapsulates it. And it's just absolutely just a great moment in Iowa football history.
You know what's a great piece of memorabilia is to have B-Ray print that out and have Coach Ferentz sign it. Like, how cool would that be?
Oh,
Him
that would
walking
be
off
awesome.
the Swarm after setting the record for most wins as a Big Ten coach. Like, that would be like B-Ray probably doesn't watch. I think he might. That's
I doubt it. They need
that's-
to blow that picture up, put it on Kenny.
That's not a bad idea. That's not
No.
all right. So we have Wisconsin number 5, Minnesota 4, Michigan State 3, Vandy 2, and number 1 with Kirk Ferentz. I would argue, Patrick, that you don't have Penn State in your top 5,
No.
and I think it might have been the best game of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could argue with that for
You're
sure.
like, you're like, shut up! I just did this in 5 minutes.
I forgot about it. Yeah, I forgot about that game. But yeah, no, that was a good one, and that was one that Penn State, they had some turmoil going into that week because their coach just got fired, and it was an issue and all that stuff, and they came out ready to play, and they're a very talented football team. They extremely physical, tough, good group. And they came out ready to fight us. They were good at every single position. And our guys fought and they battled, and what was it, that naked boot at the end that kind of
Yep.
sealed it from Mark? Like, that was a pretty damn good play. Pretty damn good play. I mean, gosh, the amount of times that he made plays this year, it was just great. Like, in moments that we needed it, and we hadn't had that in a long time. A quarterback that we're like, all right, hey, we got a shot. It just, him coming in right away and fitting into the culture. You really don't get a better guy in the portal than that. I really don't think you do. That just fits in perfectly right then and there and comes in right away and is a huge leader and just a huge factor in all our success.
Yeah, in that game, he had that 67-yard run, I think, in the fourth quarter.
6-7.
Was it that? Oh, shut up. 57-yard run. We just took 10 yards away from him if that was the case. That and the boot was really good as well. I'd also argue this before I let you go. That the Oregon game,
I'm not here to argue. All right.
No, I don't.
There's too much arguing going on social media and in this country that I'm not here to argue with you, Matt. I just want us to all be happy
You want to just get
and
along?
hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I would say Oregon, and when Mark Gronowski scored the touchdown, I know they came back and they won, but when he scored that go-ahead touchdown, that moment right there in the rain at Kinnick with that place the way it was the best moment of 2025. Am I crazy?
Well, I mean, you got to look at the moment, yes, but then you look at the ending. It wasn't
they
ideal,
cheated.
but that was.
They cheated and they came back and won.
Yes, I know. I'm telling you. I've been telling you that.
4 teams
And I
cheated
do
this
think.
year. Am I wrong? 4 teams cheated this year.
Yep.
We watched 4 teams cheat.
Yep.
Go on.
Yep. Indiana game, as far as atmosphere and just noise from Kinnick Stadium, might have been the loudest I've ever been a part of.
Yeah. No, I would agree.
And one of the things too, I mean, credit to the fans showed up. The fans showed up this year.
Yeah.
It was great.
The thing
Absolutely
that
great.
makes me mad about the Indiana game is the interception early. You gave them those points. You gave them the field goal at the end of the first half. That never happens. You start looking at little things, and they should have won the game to begin with. They get the interception, and they get in the field goal range. Everyone talks about the missed opportunity on the screen and all that kind of. Just so many ifs and if ifs and nuts were what is it? I'm gonna ifs and buts. Ifs and buts were candy and nuts. And I don't know the rest of the slogan. My grandma used to say it. I'm going to eject out of here because I just said nuts and my grandma, and I don't want you to say anything inappropriate. So, Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is set. It's Patriots, Seahawks. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you care?
I'm excited about this game. I like it. I'm looking forward to it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like this game?
I love this game. 8. Give me an 8.
Okay, good. Why?
Give me an 8.
Why? I don't understand why you like it so much.
Because you got 2 teams with, I mean, and now I know Drake May and Sam Darnold, like they're big names, but who are the guys? Like, who are the huge important, NFL faces of the NFL players on these teams.
Yeah. No, I get you.
I mean, obviously, you've got the receiver in the Seahawks. I can't pronounce his name, but he led the NFL in receiving yards. But they're teams, like they're teams. They're not like a big star here or blah blah blah. Like these are a group of teams that compete and they battle. And I love the fact that the Patriots were terrible last year. They're absolutely terrible. They got Vrabel coaching now, and they're in the Super Bowl. And then you've got Sam Darnold, who was completely written off. He was a bust. He was terrible. Guy will never make it. Now he's in the Super Bowl. His grandpa, I just found out last night, was the man.
What's the
I
what?
mean, how can you not?
Did you paint your phone, Bill? You
Look
just
it
cut
up.
out.
Look.
What was his grandpa? Say it again.
The Marlboro Man.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, dude.
No kidding. Well, then
Yeah.
then you're
How can you not root for the
Seahawks.
guy?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, he ended up passing from lung cancer, but the guy, if you look it up, amazing story, absolutely amazing story.
Have
He
you
was a
heard?
good basketball player, I think, an Olympian. I want to say maybe in volleyball or something. But dude, I'm all in on Sam Darnold. I'm all in on the Seahawks right now. Obviously, I play for the Colts, so I can't root for I can't for Patriots.
Yeah, I do have some of my wife's hard-earned money on Seattle already. I'll probably be adding to that. But
What's the line?
it's 3.5 it opened at. I think it's probably at a 4.5 right now. I wish I didn't have the hook. Like, it's stupid to have 3.5. You might as well have 3 because that hook is going to get you. But I think the NFC's so much better that I don't think it's that close. Have you ever heard, you mentioned him dying of lung cancer. Have you ever heard the Norm Macdonald? I just heard it this morning. One of my biggest pet peeves is when someone has cancer and they pass away, they say they lost their battle with cancer. It ticks me off.
Correct.
Norm Macdonald
I
has
agree.
a bit about that. And he
Yep.
makes, and he's like, actually, when that person dies and the cancer dies as well. So it's really a draw. It's really funny.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you. Norm Macdonald's one of the.
I love Norm.
He was so good. So, anyways, well, this has
I
been
love him.
all over the place. I'm trying to think how much trouble I got during this conversation. I don't think too bad,
You said nuts. You said nuts and your grandma. So
but
that was a.
in different. Also, we found out that Grandpa Gary saved you from getting arrested before the Michigan State game.
I wouldn't have got arrested.
Well, you can outrun the cops again in Iowa City.
Yeah, I probably would have got arrested.
On that note, we'll probably let you go. Patrick, I appreciate it. We'll catch up next week again. Love you. See you, pal.
Love you, buddy.
All right, that is Pat Anger joining us here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. I think it's a bigger deal than he does. The Big Ten schedules come out tonight. I think they're announced on Big Ten Network tomorrow on the show. Tom Kakert, I'm hoping maybe Tyler Tashman or something like that will be on to. We're gonna go through the schedule and give our way too early predictions for Iowa football 2026. But they come out tonight, so I figured we might as well talk to Pat before we move on completely to 2026 about this past season of Iowa football, and it was really good. It was so many great moments, so many big plays, all those kind of things. So that was a lot of fun as well. We got much more to get to after the break. We'll go to the high school level. The MAC on the girls' side is as competitive as ever. One of the teams in the mix, second place, Bettendorf, their senior standout and future Houston guard, Alyvia McCorkle will join us right after this. You're watching OTA. What is it? It's Tuesday right here in the Quad Cities. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Here, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss prearrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfather's is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Tuesday in the Quad Cities. We've talked a lot of high school basketball in recent weeks, and rightfully so. As I mentioned yesterday, it's one of the best times of year. Everybody talks about March Madness coming up, and yes, March Madness is awesome, but for the high schools, it's almost like a February frenzy. You can start to see the conference races taking shape, milestones, individual performances, all of those great things. And over in the MAC, the ladies are as competitive as ever once again, and they're full of great individual talent, including at Bettendorf High School. One of their standouts joins us right now on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Alyvia McCorkle joining us right now. First and foremost, Alyvia, thank you for hanging out with some old guy that does a podcast in his loft. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
It's been a fun season, and the Bulldogs 9-3 in conference play under new head coach, first year head coach. I'm going to call her Jen Youngblood, but it's Jen Shea. I got to get that right. Before we start talking about the season itself, your senior year going into this season, what were your expectations, and how excited were you to get rocking and rolling at Bettendorf High School for one more year?
I was super excited with the group that we have right now, especially since we had some other girls come out who took a year off, but haven't really shown that they've taken a year off basketball. And, I'm just really proud of this group and like coming together, believing in one another, and all the excitement off and on the basketball court. And honestly, just like how good of friends we are and like how close knit it is.
Oh, absolutely. And you look at it too, Alyvia, you guys tied for second in the MAC. It's a three-way tie. Assumption, yourselves, I think Pleasant Valley right there as well. Everyone kind of chasing Central to win. Talk about this conference in general, because, and you know it, you've been in this conference for now 4 years. It's super competitive night in and night out. What's this league like this year? And I'm sure it's competitive as ever.
Yeah, I would say this year it's pretty competitive. I feel like it's not like how last year was, where like there was just really great teams in the MAC, and then there was just, but this year I feel like everyone's pretty even, and like everyone has really good players on their team, and it's just a fun night every week, basically.
No, absolutely. And you look at it, you mentioned some of the talent in this conference individually is really well. It's been that way for a while, Olivia. You look at the MAC conference, and every year you're sending several young ladies to the Division I level and all of those kind of things. You're heading to Houston, I know, next year to play Division I basketball. Kind of talk about that and the decision to go to Houston, and obviously it's a little warmer down there than what it is right now here in the Quad Cities. What drew you to Houston? And I know there's a lot of basketball left to be played, but talk about the future and how excited you are to head south next year.
I'm really excited, honestly. I just love all the coaches and how much, especially Coach Mitchell, believes in me and believes in the program. And it is a rebuilding year for them. And I think every time I watch them, they have been getting better and becoming a team more. And it's honestly, it's just like a family environment down there. and they take really good care of you. And obviously the warm weather is a plus. So yeah.
No kidding. I think it's like 2 degrees outside right now, so it definitely
Yeah.
is a plus. Alyvia, let's talk about this year's Bulldogs. You mentioned getting some players and kind of coming together. Have you seen this team take steps as the season progresses? Galesburg's a really good basketball here on the Illinois Central River, and you battle them in the shootout as close as can be. Drop that one by 2. An impressive victory last week. Clinton's really good. You beat them by 14.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see this team getting better as the season goes along?
Yeah, we've definitely had our ups and downs in the beginning of the season, and I'm glad that, we're putting it all together towards the end, especially since we do want to make a postseason run. And yeah, it's just we've definitely had some progression in our offense and other people stepping up, scoring the ball, which is very helpful. It kind of lets me take a little break. Um, but I'm really proud of like everyone, like I said, and I think our defense is what really, makes us come together because our press is really good, I feel, and it's really good when we are turning over the ball or turning the other team over a lot and getting easy points and layups and stuff.
Can you talk about that, because it's not easy to be the top player on the opponent's scouting report, and I'm sure Alyvia McCorkle's name comes up at the top of most scouting reports. Excuse me. What is that like? Because night in, night out that you're getting the other team's attention, and you're probably option 1, maybe 1A and B, those kind of things. What is it like, and how do you prepare, not just physically but mentally, for those type of challenges on a nightly basis?
I honestly, I'm just going to give this to my coaches, mainly Jen and Coach Brooks and Coach Fry. They really try to help me keep level headed because they do know that like it is mentally hard out there being, double teamed almost every night or going against a box and one and stuff like that. So they just help me mentally with like, it's okay, you got this, and you can push through type of thing.
I can't believe you listened to those 3 people. Those are the worst 3. No, I'm kidding. Fantastic 3 people. I want to talk about your head coach, because I've known Jen Shea, Coach Shea, for a long time. Awesome human being. She's a really good basketball coach. Obviously, as you guys can see, she was an amazing basketball player. I want to say back in the day, but when she watches this, she'll say, I can probably still go. And you've known her for 2 years, an assistant, and now she's your head coach. What has that relationship been like, and what has she meant to you guys so far this season?
My relationship with Jen, I feel like, is really good, especially since I feel like you do need a strong connection with at least one coach on the team. And I feel like she helps me, like I said, be level-headed when struggling against adversity and stuff like that. And she really does help me since she did play at the Division 1 level, and like how stuff like after high school season ends, like how all of that works and how to prepare, and that I'll be okay and that it will be okay. And you just have to adjust. But yeah.
Okay, be honest with me. Does she talk about her playing days? Does she get out there and play any? Can she still shoot it? Can she still go? Tell me, be honest. Nobody's watching. We won't get in trouble.
She doesn't go with us, no, but I do try to challenge her, but she always says no.
Should she tell you some of the stories? Because, honestly, Alyvia, and you know this too, she was as good as it gets in the Quad City area when it comes to girls basketball.
Honestly, she really doesn't talk about herself and like that, and when she used to play as much. Obviously, last year when we did play Rocky, I feel like she talked about it a little and how much she really did love high school basketball and basketball in general. So I feel like that, but no, she doesn't really talk about like her playing overseas besides like how cool it was and all that other stuff.
Absolutely. So. Alyvia McCorkle from Bettendorf joining us right now and Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. You talked about wanting to make a run, and I think there's several teams in the MAC that can make runs in different classes and all those kind of things. Tell me about the future and what is the goals of this year's team, and can you see that coming to fruition as you guys hit the all important home stretch here in the season?
Our goals for the team is to make it to state. Obviously, I feel like that's everyone's goal in the MAC. So I feel like us making it to state will prove something, since I don't remember the last time Bettendorf girls has even made it to state. And honestly, us making state will show a statement like Bettendorf girls, like we are good, and we will, play anyone, and it doesn't matter what school name is on your jersey.
Yeah, no, absolutely. A big game on Tuesday against Assumption. They're in that 3-way tie for the MAC at 9-3. Kind of talk about taking each game one game at a time, and another test coming up on Tuesday night against a really good Assumption team.
It will be a test and show how much that we really want to make this postseason run, and stopping one of their best players and being focused the entire and aggressive offensively, defensively, especially since we are down 2 girls right now. So it will show that, we can push through even when we are down 2 people. So.
All right, Alyvia, we need to have some fun with you because I got some fun questions for everybody who comes on here. Tell me about, first, before we talk about like your own stuff, tell me about this team. Are there some goofball? Every team has those goofballs, and I mean that in a nice way. Those class clowns, and I mean that in a nice way. The people that lighten the mood a little bit during a tough practice. Are there people like that on this Bettendorf team? And who would you say would be the class clown? Is it yourself, Alyvia?
Well, I would say we probably have 3 on the team. Definitely, probably myself, and also Emily Martin and Peyton Nagel for sure.
Gotcha. And that's a good thing. I don't say that in a mean way. That's definitely a good thing. How do you ladies celebrate a victory? Is there a tradition? Is there a place to go eat after games? Those kind of things when it comes to getting a victory in the high school level.
After games, we usually go to B-dubs, but we haven't this season. Mainly just because the first half of the season we've been away, so like it's been pretty late coming off the bus and stuff. But yeah, we usually go to B-dubs, or we just have like a little get together at like someone's house, and like we just hang out and have like a team sleepover before practice or something.
All right, Alyvia. A lot of high school kids say B-dubs. And I always have to ask them, what are you like? Are you doing the Blazing Challenge? Are you getting something a little spicy? Or are you what's the order?
I don't do the Blazing Hot Challenge, but I do get buffalo or the mild wings, I guess, the boneless ones. But I'm not really, I like B-dubs, and everyone likes B-dubs, but I couldn't do that 2 times a night or two times in 1 week, because it's just a lot, and it kind of does hurt my stomach.
I got to give you a hard time because they're not wings if they're boneless. Those are just chicken nuggets. You know that. That's just an adult chicken nugget. That's okay. That's just an adult chicken nugget. When it comes to superstitions, Alyvia, it seems like a lot of basketball players have superstitions. Does your team? Is there any superstitions when it comes to yourself or the Bettendorf girls basketball team this year?
For myself, I definitely have 2. I always get jersey mics on game days, and I've been getting the same order since like my freshman year.
Which is
the number 7, Mike's Way, no onions, and then I get the baked barbecue chips and then a lemonade.
Okay.
And I've been getting that literally for almost 4 years.
How much before games do you get that? How long before games?
I get it during like lunch, so probably like 12:30.
Okay, that's fine. I was thinking you're on your way to the gym and you grab that. I would say that's probably.
No.
All right.
No.
What other superstition is there, or is there any others?
I have another one. This one I'm gonna have to try to figure out.
I feel like this is confession. I feel like you're going through confession right now. Go on, tell me, confess to it. What do you got?
So before the games, I take out, all my jewelry and stuff, and I don't keep it. I give it actually to Jen, and I've been doing that since my sophomore year, since I've been at Bettendorf. And so I'm just gonna have to figure that out next year when I get to college, I guess.
Tough flight to to home to give away the jewelry before the games. Alyvia,
Yeah.
if you could have dinner with anybody in the world, and you can do passed away, you can do alive, you can do a sports, you can do whatever. If you could have dinner with anybody in the world, who would it be and why?
Oh, this is really hard because I have two people in mind,
Then you can
but
do two. You can do both.
okay, so my first person would be definitely LeBron James because he's the GOAT and he's literally amazing. I love him. And then
Alyvia, hold on. You do know of a guy named Michael Jordan, right? Like, I feel like
No.
your dad would have educated you about Michael Jordan, right?
my whole family is LeBron James fans.
Oh,
So
no. All right. Well, let us slide. Go on. Go ahead.
my second person would be Colston Loveland from the Bears.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
Is that because you're a Bears fan, a Michigan fan, or why exactly is that? Or because he's like good looking?
Because he's really attractive.
Okay, there you go. That's. But are you even a Bears fan?
No, I'm not really a
good.
big football fan,
Good.
but I'm a Colston Loveland fan, so that's all that really matters.
I don't like the Bears, so I'm on board with that. Then that's a beautiful thing. Hey, before I let you get out of here, we kind of talked about the rest of this season. As a senior who's played a lot of basketball in the MAC, do you take times, or does the coach, or does anybody take time to remind you to enjoy this? Because these are some of the best days of your life.
Yeah, actually, this past weekend, at practice, my coaches were like, yeah, like, we just want to tell you, like, good job and stuff, like, in that we just want you to enjoy this last season, these last couple of weeks with us, and then afterwards, enjoy your last, like, high school life, so.
No, absolutely. Do that. Here's the deal. You guys make it to state, and we'll have maybe 3 of you guys on the show. So go do well, kill it, and then punch that ticket to state. We'll get you and some teammates on the show to talk all about your trip to Des Moines coming up and all those things as well. Tell your head coach I said hi, and tell her I appreciate her lining this up, and best of luck the rest of the way, Alyvia. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. That is Alyvia McCorkle, Bettendorf standout. It's a fun, interesting race in the MAC. Obviously, Central DeWitt setting the pace, undefeated right now at 12-0. We've talked to Ryan O'Brien on the show several times, but several good teams that can make some noise this postseason. Bettendorf, Pleasant Valley, Assumption, just to name, and Clinton as well, playing really good basketball, and some talent in Clinton as well. So we got a lot more to get to here. You're watching Off the Air on a Tuesday right here in the Quad Cities. We'll be right back.
Give me the keys. Learning to drive can be stressful for both the student and, yes, the parent as well. Relax. There's an easy way to avoid the stress. Skiles Driving School in East Moline has been helping new drivers hit the road with confidence for over 20 years. Whether you're a teen earning your first license or an adult looking for behind-the-wheel training, we've got you covered. Their certified instructors are patient, experienced, and use modern vehicles equipped for safety and comfort. From classroom instruction to real-world driving, we make learning safe, affordable, and even fun. Call 309-278-0098 or visit skylesdriving.com. Skiles Driving School. Get in, buckle up, drive your future forward.
Hello, Dan Pearson here of FCA. Our team is thrilled to support Off the Air with our good friend Matt Randazzo. We share the view of the power of sport when it comes to relationships, including the influence of the coach. FCA believes the coach is the most influential person in America. Matt celebrates local coaches and athletes. His content is informational, insightful, and inspirational. Our Fellowship of Christian Athlete team loves partnering with Off the Air with Matt Randazzo while we engage, equip, and empower coaches and athletes in our 23 counties. FCA, the heart and soul in sports.
Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Tuesday in the Quad Cities. I try to get things scheduled every week, and you get used to certain things. Jake Bren's always on Wednesdays. Certain people are certain days. John Marx is always Monday. Last week, flexible as can be. Monday was weird. We took the day off and a bunch of stuff. This Monday was weird as well, but thankfully, John Marx is flexible, and he joins us right now on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Johnny, I don't know if it's my luck or not, but 2 straight Mondays I was scurrying around. But as they say in the business, you just got to get the show on the air. We got her done. Thank you for being flexible moving to Tuesday. How are you, my friend?
Thanks for letting me hang out, Maddie. I'm doing great. Everything. The world didn't end because it got cold, and a lot of places I feel sorry for the people that in the South without power and dealing with that. But life is good, man. I'm above the grass.
Am I becoming that guy if I said that I kind of get annoyed by everything being canceled because of the cold? Like, I don't understand it completely because our kids didn't have school on Friday, and I get it. Nobody did. I'm not bashing any administration or anything like that. I get the premise of it, but I did the show, and then I took the kids to PepsiCo and we worked out. Then we went to dinner, and then then on Saturday when it was equally as cold, everybody went and played basketball. And then I don't know. Am I being just knock it off? Talk to me. Am I being that guy, or should I knock it off?
You're a product of your environment. So am I, where we never got snow days or all that nonsense, and,
right.
and it had to be COVID. But you have to remember, buses are hard to start with, and buses are hard to start with the diesel and the gel and all that stuff. I understand that. You don't want kids waiting at bus stops. I understand that. We are a litigious society. If one child has something go wrong, and because of school being in session, then that starts with the school, the bus stop, the buses, everybody, and down the line, and then everybody's in court. So again, I'm okay as long as they get their 186 days by hook or by crook. I don't care, but I would again. I don't know. You're like mine was on a free day growing up, and your kids I know wouldn't sit in their house. I know you probably took them to some gymnasium, whether it be PepsiCo or Palmer, and turned them loose, and that's good. In our day, if it was no matter how cold it was, we went outside. So again, just a product of our environment. I'm not going to bash anybody because their jobs are to look out for young people, but things have changed.
It was funny because I reminisced a little bit on Friday's show because my mom was a teacher at Jordan Catholic forever, and it was the phone tree. It was like we would hear the phone ring and we'd be like, "Oh, what was that? There's nobody calling this early," but it was so rare. And remember, I'm out here in beautiful South Milan, but Rock Ridge School District, and
your words.
And I'm not trying to bash Rock Ridge by any stretch, but they get out of school a lot more than the in-city kids in Jordan and those kind of things. So my kids are always cranky because Rock Ridge gets out for anything. I will say this, and you bring up a good point, the buses, because and I don't know if I had told you the story. I'll tell everybody on Saturday, Alleman basketball went down to Galesburg, and my son was on the bus, and I don't know when they left, 9:45. I think this is when they left. The game was at noon, the sophomore game. And it's probably 10 o'clock, and Chuck texts me. He's like, "Hey, we're going 35 miles an hour on 280. And I'm like, "Really?" And he goes, "Check out Life 360 or whatever." And they were going 35, and they got onto the X, and they went 74, and they were still going 35 miles an hour. And kind of off on the shoulder. And Charlie "This is so weird. The bus just wouldn't go more than 35 miles an hour. So luckily, and then he texts me with, "We're getting pulled over by the police." Now that doesn't mean they're doing anything wrong, but they were there to help. They went down 150. They eventually were escorted to get over to 150. And it took them, they got there 15 minutes before the game. It took them 2 hours to get to Galesburg. And so as I complain and say like, oh, they should be tough, I should shut up, because that's exactly what can happen all over the place. So honestly, I'm glad everybody's safe and all those kind of things, and it'll eventually warm up, and we'll be talking baseball and all that kind of stuff soon. I do want to talk to you about a bunch of high school stuff first.
Okay.
Rock Island has a new head football coach. We're going to have Anthony Rome on the show tomorrow. Geneseo kid. I say that he's got 3 kids. I think he just had his 3rd kid. But relatively speaking, everybody's younger than
you and I.
Like, yes. Geneseo was at Moline for a while. At United Township as their defensive coordinator last season. He gets the job at Rock Island. The Rock Island job is probably different than what it was 5-10 years ago. Yep. Talk about the fit. Talk about maybe the challenge, and I mean that in a nice way, with what comes on with Rock Island football right now.
Matty, first of all, he is the perfect fit, and it's his time. He has been a finalist for, as you and I know, for every job that's popped up in the last few years, and that's a testament to him, and B, him just wanting to finally have his own program. Is he capable of running a program and leading? Boys, by all means, yes. And he'll find out that there'll be some challenges, but he will do phenomenally in being organized. He can coach. He knows the X and O's. That's a imperative to things in today's game, and he will adapt. And that's, I think, his best quality, is he can adapt to whatever challenges will be thrown at him at Rock Island. Now, as you said, when I was coaching and Coach Hammer, I think my last year was his first or second year, might have been his third, one of his best recruiting years with the 2 linemen. So, but to take that a step further, it's a different set of circumstances. The numbers, I don't think, and we all know Fritz Dieudonné is a phenomenal human being. Yeah. I don't think he had, you saw they weren't typical Rock Island linemen. They weren't typical Rock Island size-wise, and the speed is always there. So he'll have a base to work from. Their sophomores were okay. Their freshmen, they're all learning. Again, who cares what a sophomore football or freshman football coach's record is? You get them ready. He will be organizationally phenomenal, and he will hit the ground running. I think he's that guy, Matty. He'll bend, be flexible, but you either buy in or take a hike. And that's what I think he has to do, and not worry right off the bat about what his numbers are. If he establishes himself, and the rest will take care of itself, he has to be steadfastly, he can't break from his rules and his norms, and he has to make the young people buy in, and then and get up and be part of it. Again, it's hard, and you know this. Kids are pulled in 1,000 different directions. Everybody's going to the NBA, so they play AAU. Everybody's going to play in the big league, so their travel baseball or Legion baseball takes up half their summer. Football, everybody thinks is a summer sport now, and it's not. But 7-on-7, you have 1,000 different things to do there. If he can get kids to be multi-sport athletes, fit into his scheme will work. And then I think. Do I think he's going to have success right off the bat? I don't know. But do I think will he be successful? Absolutely. He's that good of a football coach, that good of a person, and he's as organizationally sound as anybody out there.
I hope, and you mentioned will he have success and when. I think he'll be successful. I hope people have patience, and they don't in life. And we're talking NFL down to college, but especially high school football. Like, people have to be patient. There's no flip of a switch. There's no, and did they win 1 game last year, 2? I'm going to mess that up. Maybe 3. Rocky people don't get me mad, or don't get mad at me. But it's going to take, you can't come in and turn a building on and flip. Like the Coach Signetti's, I get they're out there, and that's college, but be patient. And I hope too that the Rock Island administration, and I'm talking the big administration and the powers that be, gives him
people
the support.
Matter.
Yeah, the support that coaches in that building need. Because there is I don't know how to say it the nicest way, but there's a perception, whether it's perception is reality or not, but there's a perception that there's struggles when it comes to athletics in the building and those kind of things at Rock Island. Just give him the support and the ability to do what Rock Island football, where Rock Island football should be. It's still Rock Island football, Johnny. You know what I mean? Like, there's enough people and talent and kids in that building to be very successful on the grand scheme of things. I don't think it's an overnight fix. I just hope that their success, that they give them, and it goes back to, I mean, people can watch this and say Randazzo and Marx are a couple of Alleman guys. What do they know about?
Good. Played against them, coached against them. Don't. That's.
But
that's,
I say the same thing. I say the same thing about Alleman. Is that like I preach patience. So why wouldn't I preach patience for Rock Island as well? Different situations completely, all those kind of things. I'm not comparing and contrast apples and oranges a little bit, but I just hope a great guy. I think he's going to do good things. We will have him on the show tomorrow right here on Off the Air and kind of talk about the opportunity. It's Rock Island football. It's Rocky Stadium. It's that
10,
program. Vic Broblet and you can go on.
Thank you.
The amount of people and all. I mean, and that's what I was telling somebody the other day. I was talking to him. The word came out Friday, I think, that he was going to get the job. Now, mind you.
Well, you knew before anybody.
I did. And I will say this too, is that it is board approval or board pending tonight.
Yeah.
So let me preference all of that. But I mean, of course, it should be the head coach, and I think he will be. But we were talking about Rocky football, and we went back to Vic, and I started covering sports, and Vic was the man. And like, he was such a good human being, and he is such a good human being and a good football coach. And he established it with us right away. Hey, if you want to come to our practice, come on over. But be here 15 minutes before practice, or be there at the end of practice, because this is practice. And I had no issues with it. I mean, and that kind of requirement to us was the same thing that he had for his football program and the kids inside his building. And I think that is something that Rock Island is gonna need a little more of. And I'm excited to see what Coach Rome does. Obviously, and now everybody kind of like, I mean, he's been at Rock Island, or he's been at Moline, he's been at UT, he's a Geneseo grad. Like, I think there's a lot of good that comes to the experiences that he's had, and he's been in a lot of really good programs as well.
I believe he should sit down with Coach Boblet and realize that some of the things Coach Boblet did may not work now, but hold kids accountable. We all have to do that. And then I would sit down with Jake Scudder. I would sit down with Mark Polite and wonder how does Jake Scudder have great success in the baseball program, and how does Mark Polite continue to do it in basketball, and then pick everybody's brain and Henry Hall as well. I apologize to Henry.
Don't pick Henry's brain too much. There's not much left there to pick. So love you,
but
Henry.
Again, these are three successful. We'll use those three as an example.
Yeah.
Mark, Henry, and Jake in the building. Three successes at every level, and follow. Have your own path, but take nuggets from them and move forward. Matt, it's there. You and I know this, and we always lament the fact that there might be kids walking the hallways that could help your program. We say it about certain other a lot of places actually. Well, give guys like Coach Welch and Coach Morrissey and Coach Furlong, kids that might be walking the hallways are now walking out to practice, and they're good at that, and he will be good at this. But yes, you got to preach a little patience with their board.
Love it. Anthony Rome will be on the show Off the Air tomorrow right here, 10 a.m. It should be a lot of fun to chat with him as well. We had another really good coach on yesterday, someone you knew, and I kept trying to throw you under the bus, and he kept on being nice, but Coach Specht out at Makokata. Johnny, it's getting to be that time when we look at the high school or basketball big picture, and we're like, which teams are going to make those runs and have special seasons, and you look, Makokata, definitely one of them. Central DeWitt girls over on that side of the river playing well. Bettendorf, Muscatine playing well, all those kind of things. On the Iowa side or Illinois side, we've had a Coach Hatch on, and Riverdale's really good, and there's really good teams on this side as well. I want to ask you about Makokata. I know you saw them last year. Despite coaching, they're really good, right? I can throw him under the bus now because
I know.
he's not here.
And then you're waiting. If he's not going to throw me under the bus, I can't throw. They're really good, Maddie, and Chad is one of my favorite people on the planet. So, and they're well coached. Let's just get that out of the way. And wonderful community support. Now, if they have the best thing about it is when he checked out his schedule. And I don't know if he touched on this, so I didn't see that part yesterday. Saw the beginning and the end where he didn't throw me under the bus. I love the fact that he has always been that guy, whether he's a head coach or assistant coach, that he will go play anybody, anywhere, anytime. And that's how you win. And if you check out their schedule, their before Christmas and after Christmas schedule is as tough as anybody, I believe, in the state of Iowa, and their RPI will tell you as much. So he backs down from no one, and I think that's what. And they're not 4A this year, Maddie. They're 3A. So that I believe that will help them in the tournament. Do I believe they end up in the state tournament again? Absolutely. Do I think they can win? Yes. The other part of it is what worries me, and this is he laments this once in a while. They play so hard. Sometimes they don't shoot the ball like you want them to shoot the ball. And it's welcome to high school sports where you have off nights. He would like to see a more consistent, and I don't know, I believe he needs them to shoot the ball better on a more consistent basis. And I say that by, hey, let's put together 3 straight games where we shoot anywhere from 41 to 46% from the field. That's the operative number anymore. So I think if they get to that point and they're really good in the post, they rebound, Manny, they will defend your face off. They will get after it. They get off the bus defending. They go to the ballpark defending. But they need to get better or continue to shoot the ball a little bit better. If that's a flaw, okay, you can make up with the way they defend.
No, absolutely. I agree with that. I think I think they could win 4A and they could play anybody in 5A. And the fact they're in 3A is really, really impressive as well. That's the beauty part of all these kind of things. We had Alyvia McCorkle on last segment from Bettendorf, and teams get hot and play well. And when you have talent like that, it should be a fun stretch run and postseason for high school basketball. Yesterday on the show, we talked with John Bonenkamp and Kyle Huseman a lot about the Iowa women. They continue to win. They've won 9 straight. They're 9-0 in Big Ten. Bad news came late yesterday. And not surprising news, Taylor McCabe out for the season with a torn ACL. Addie Deal stepped up. I'll ask you, obviously you watch every game, all those kind of things. A big loss, and you feel awful for Taylor McCabe. But with that being said, I think it's great timing that Addie Deal is kind of maybe broken through as a freshman. Hate to see it for the young lady, though. That's first and foremost.
Well, obviously, you never want to see one of your standout players go down. Again, here's the funny thing about it, Maddie. You rattled off there in the top 10 again. They've rattled. You said 9 straight victories. Isn't it amazing that Jan Jensen can coach? Since was that something we didn't know? My goodness, she was Coach Bluter's right-hand person forever, and she, you saw Jan up just as much coaching as you would Lisa, and that's a testament to Lisa and her lack of ego.
And Johnny, the crazy thing is, it was a year ago right now that Iowa was losing 5 straight games. And there were people that were like, I don't think she's a great assistant. She's a great, number 2, but she can't be that person and that coach. And I'll argue that while it's a really good basketball team, and I'm not saying Lisa just rolled out the most talent and won, but there's been more talented Iowa basketball teams than what we have now. They just play well. They're connected. But yeah, exactly. I mean, there's no mistake that the coaching matters. Isn't that crazy, Johnny?
Yep. And here, I think this is a stark contrast to the way Lisa ran her program. Lisa, my Coach Bluter, I always believed that she would find a way offensively to outscore you. And she didn't. And yes, did she want to defend? Yes. But she would find a way to win 81-79. Coach Jensen has a way that she will beat you 71-69 or and keep you in the 60s. She can coach all phases, but they're really, really good defensively. and who's better at the wing right now than they are, and who's better at they are in the post right now. Maybe UConn and South Carolina. They're really, really good. Iowa State, we know, has been on that bit of a roller coaster, but I like to see the Big Ten women's tournament tomorrow to see where everybody stands and to see how that plays out. But again, yes, devastating loss, but that's one of the programs, and it's really a bad cliche, Matt, but it's that next person up, and that's the way it is there. And they're all, she gives everybody enough rotational minutes early in the season to see where everybody fits into that 1 through 9, and you were there not too long ago and saw it. It works, and if she has to extend it to 10 or 11, she can, but she has that really that grade 8 or grade 9 that will roll through 4 quarters of basketball every night. And if she has to go deeper, everybody got minutes early to understand the role and can help. They're fine. Yeah. Yes, huge loss, but they'll be fine.
John Marx joining us. It's a Marxy Monday on a Tuesday here in the Quad Cities. A couple more quick things before I let you go. On a scale of 1 to 10, I asked Patrick Anger this to start the show. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you, or how interested are you in Super Bowl 60?
4. And then that's, again, I'm the guy. I can't keep. It won't reach. I keep patting myself on the back. Everybody said Sam Darnold was a bust, and I said the Vikings were rude the day that they gave up on him, or they let him go to Seattle. Maddie, I'm a huge Sam Darnold fan. Have been from day one. I know things didn't work out early in his career. He's a guy you can't give up on, and obviously playing in a Super Bowl. They have JNS or whatever Tom Brady could.
Jackson Smith and Jim.
Yes, because Tom Brady couldn't pronounce his name. He kept using. Tom Brady can use initials. I guess that's like calling Pete Crow Armstrong PCA. I hate that. It's so it's just you act like you have a personal relationship with Crow Armstrong.
Like me and Ben.
Yeah, you and Ben. Yes, yes, but Tom Brady can. The kicker is Seattle's really, really good. They defend, and this is going to be a 18-17 type football game. We'll talk more about it as it gets closer, Maddie. But I love Mike Vrabel, and Drake May is a dude. I texted Jackson, and you'll understand the play that they sealed it before they took a knee. The Patriots, I said he's going to boot. He's going to go this way, because that's my favorite. That's my favorite play in football is waggle and boot. And and so I had one up on the college football player that I called the boot, and he got the first down, and they took a knee. So love Mike Vrabel. Love the fact that he's into his player. He's a coach's or a player's coach, and but right now 4.
Yeah, I could go without the Patriots. I know it's a different Patriot regime, but I think like they need to sit it out for a while. They should be back doing this again. I will say this, like the Sam Darnold stuff, and I say this, and this includes Caleb and everybody else in between, and Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. Like quarterbacks are so up and down their first 3 to 4 years that anybody who writes any of them off, and you look at the Daniel Joneses are now very relevant in the NFL, and you look at Sam Darnold and Jared Goff to an extent, number 1 overall pick that was shipped out saying you weren't good enough, and all these kind of things. And then you crown people too early. Like CJ Stroud was, this guy's amazing, and Jaden Daniels, this guy's amazing. And I'm not saying they're not, but they come back down to earth. It's almost like you need the ebbs and flows in football. People need to chill and quit making overreactions before they find. And that's why I say with Caleb, all I say is I don't think he's great right now. I don't say he's not going to be, or he's not going to continue to get. I'm just saying as of right now, the body of work is still incomplete and has at least a little bit, but we're not going to get into that. I will say this, too. Gosh darn it, you had me forgetting something obviously very important that I was going to say. But with that being said, I do want to let you go before I let you go. And this isn't to stroke your ego. God knows you don't need it. But it's going to be a fun Friday at Alleman High School, the Hall of Fame night. Jerry Burkhead's going in. I'm going to mess this up because I can't remember everybody that's coming in. Hopefully you can maybe help me out as well. But I know Jerry Burkhead, our good friends, coming. And I should know because I'm on the committee, so I should know boom, 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 boom. But the 1975
graduation 76. Yeah,
it's long overdue. It's exactly. That's where I got confused. It's, in my opinion, it's long overdue. I may have been one of those guys on the board, kind of pounding that drum. But when you think Alleman football, and not just, it's not you, but those guys on those team, and that just start saying the names of the people that are on it, it's Alleman football, and they should have been in a long time ago. I think it's going to be a great night on Friday.
First of all, bless you for saying that. Garen Grigsby, Owen Doak, Sean Weatherall, one of my favorite people of all time, is going in the 75, and then of course one of my all-time favorite people, Jerry Burkhead as a coach. Yeah, great night. Thank you for saying that, Maddie. These are guys that I grew up with. These are guys that they were the first Booster Boy group, and everybody talks about building. With them, we were unbeaten. We lost in the quarterfinals in the 5A football to Rockford Boylan. I played horribly that day, and they never ceased to let me know about it. Had a great day against Edwardsville in the first round, and then I sucked on a Saturday. That's back when we played Wednesday and Saturday, but. Yeah, Maddie, even when I was on the committee all those years, it's long overdue. It's nice. Thank you for beating the drum as you did, because it wouldn't have happened without you, and that's kind. Surrounded some guys, Fess Van Horgy, Andy Carbone, Mark Collins, Pete Stroop, guys that we all had a great time. Todd DePorter, Dave DeJager. That's why when we were coaching all those years together, Matt, people go, how do you guys do it? I said, well, this is a high school reunion for me every day. Coach with Mike Ebner, who's on that team. Coach with Dave DeJager and Todd DePorter were on that team. Jim Jorgensen, who's the head coach, and I don't know how his health is. He was phenomenal. Maddie, I'll leave you with this. I was a baseball player dressed up in a football player's uniform who got to start and got to play. Loved it. I could not drink or eat anything after 11:30 my lunch that day, because I was afraid I'd have to go to the bathroom, and I would be late for practice with Coach Jorgensen. We all thought he had a big green eye in the middle of he had horns and a big green eye, and he was 6'7", and it come to find out he's like 5'10". He was an ex-Marine, him and Tim Mash, and he scared us all to death, but he knew the game. He cared about us. And he scared me every day, Maddie. I could get yelled at by my parents. Okay, big deal. But if Coach Jorgensen yelled at me, I'd crumple like a little ball in the corner. So great guy, love him. And yes, thank you. I can't wait to get there. I'm doing the Assumption girls and boys doubleheader, and then jumping over for the ceremony.
I love it. And I'll tell all those years I just said that, like, you name the names Altman wise, they're on that team. And those people need to be celebrated and in the building, and more Hall of Fame. And those coaches that you mentioned, the first two are in the Hall of Fame, but they need to be there and for that team and everything. And growing up as an Alleman kid, like, that's the team they always referenced. I wasn't alive for it, not to be that jerk, but like,
no, we were unbeaten.
79 being born, but like when you were like, everybody always would say, well, this Alleman team is good, and then it always was a litmus test back to that team as well. So I think it's going to be a great night. Enough Alleman. We started with Rock Island talk, we ended with Alleman talk. Nobody can get mad at me and all those kind of things. Johnny, I appreciate you. I'll see you Friday night. Be well.
Love you, my brother.
See you, pal. All right, John Marx joining us right now, or I just did on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. It'll be a fun night at Rock Island, or excuse me, at Alleman on Friday night. And don't forget, make sure you tune in tomorrow. Should have Anthony Rome, the new head football coach at Rock Island. We'll have a great conversation with him as a new familiar face in the Western Big Six takes over. I want to know if he's ready for the banquet and for the fun that we have at the banquet. It should be a lot of fun. So anyways, we got more to get to. We will wrap things up and kind of preview what's ahead this week coming up. You watch an OTA on a Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Hello, Dan Pearson here of FCA. Our team is thrilled to support Off the Air with our good friend Matt Randazzo. We share the view of the power of sport when it comes to relationships. including the influence of the coach. FCA believes the coach is the most influential person in America. Matt celebrates local coaches and athletes. His content is informational, insightful, and inspirational. Our Fellowship of Christian Athlete team loves partnering with Off the Air with Matt Randazzo while we engage, equip, and empower coaches and athletes in our 23 counties. FCA, the heart and soul in sports.
View from the West, the podcast covering Illinois high school football.
It's going to be a hard-hitting game. It's going to be great football.
Weekly analysis and reaction from around the western side of the state of Illinois.
This is the game we had circled when the year started.
Follow along on YouTube and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's big-time football out there tonight, and I know we can play big-time football.
View from the West. We got you covered.
Are you looking for the Quad City's best chips and salsa? There's only one dude to turn to.
Right on.
Snoop. Hand-cut chips, fried fresh with that crunch you've come to love. And the most addicting salsa with delicious fresh ingredients each and every time. Pick up your chips and salsa, queso, enchiladas, and much more at the Stern Center in Rock Island. To place your order, simply call the man himself. It's Snoop at 309-314-8197 and find out for yourself what the rest of the Quad Cities already loves. Welcome back to Off Day with Matt Randazzo here on a Tuesday in the Quad Cities. There we are. See if I can get back to normal. There I am. It is Tuesday, January 27th. It's been a fun show so far here on Off the Air. We got some news that has happened during the show as we're working hard, talking to guests, all those kind of things. Dave Diani, the soccer coach at the University of Iowa, really good soccer coach, did some historic things with the Iowa women's soccer program this past season. Has officially left Iowa, taking a job with Michigan. Kind of a surprise, a little late in the game for this, but he does move on. Did amazing things at Iowa. So there's an opening at the University of Iowa. A little background, Beth Getz, of course, played college soccer, coached college soccer. So there's probably not a more qualified person to lead a search when it comes to that opening. But again, the Iowa women's soccer team doing historic things of late. And Dave Diani is heading to Michigan. So there's an opening at the University of Iowa. Another vacancy has been filled in the National Football League. Joe Brady is going back to Buffalo. He is being promoted as from the offensive coordinator under Sean McDermott to the head coach of the Bills. So one less football opening in the NFL when it comes to college coaching as well. So what's left? I'm trying to see what's left. I know that Vegas is left. They're still open. Tennessee, I believe, is still open. Man, I want to say there's another one along the way as well. But anyways, that is the latest from the NFL as and it looks like the Titans are now set to hire Brian Daboll as their offensive coordinator. I can't remember who took the coaching job there. Anyways, enough of NFL stuff. We want to thank our guests today. It was great getting things started with Pat Anger. Always an interesting chat with Pat. I love when I text him and we're like, what do we talk about? And that's also the scary thing too, because you never know what's going to come out of his mouth, not mine, but his. So check out Pat if you missed that. We also chatted with Bettendorf standout Alyvia McCorkle, and then we caught up with Johnny Marx as well here on a Marxy Monday on a Tuesday, if that makes a lot of sense. Talked about the coaching hire at Rock Island High School. New head football coach Anthony Rome is set to take over pending board approval tonight. We will have Anthony Rome on the show tomorrow. So tomorrow's show loaded. We're going to have Tom Kakert and Tyler Tashman most likely talking about the Big Ten football schedules. They come out tonight. So we'll know the Iowa schedule, the order, all of those kind of things. And we'll have Tyler and Tom kind of way too early, go through and pick and find out how the Iowa Hawkeyes are going to do next year. It should be a lot of fun. Jake Brenda usually on a Wednesday. Rob Brooks we're trying to line up this week as well. Could possibly be tomorrow as well, depending on when he heads west with the women's basketball team as well. So a lot to get to tomorrow on the show. Later this week, Logan Jones will be joining us from the Iowa football team, former Hawkeye now. Sounds weird to say as he gets ready for the NFL draft and the and his next chapter of his career in the NFL. Nicholas Bear this week as well. The Royal Rumble is on Saturday, so Friday we will spend a good amount of time talking about the Royal Rumble, previewing the Royal Rumble, all of those kind of things. So a lot to get to, and that's stuff that I know about, which sometimes I don't even know what the next day is going to look like at this point. But we got a good foundation of some good shows coming up this week, and we'll add some stuff along the way as well. So make sure you're checking us out and tuning in right now, on weekdays at 10 a.m. right here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Again, thank you to our guests, and most importantly, thank you guys for putting up with me and watching, and we will see you guys back here again tomorrow.